and welcome to our 41st night together. 41st, that actually makes me think I grew up just off of 41st Avenue in Vancouver, 41st and Fraser, between Main and Fraser, on Sophia Street. Now, if you're new to Vancouver, or at least new as in the last 30 years, you call it Sophia Street. Apparently, you can tell how long you've been in Vancouver based on how you say Sophia or Sophia. I grew up calling it Sophia, and now people call it Sophia. But it was right across the street from the graveyard. That's 41st Avenue. In fact, there's a really cool little Facebook group that's emerged called Remembering South Vancouver. And there's a thread in there about who went into the graveyard. If you went to high school at John Oliver High School, where I did, which is 41st and Fraser, you'd skip out and go to the graveyard. And the 41st bus would go from East Van or South Van to Southwest Van. Yeah, the 41st Avenue corridor. Interesting. We're in the 41st Avenue corridor of Story tonight. That's pretty fun. We're on our countdown. So welcome. Tonight I'm sharing with you another creation story. I have a bit of an unanswered question inside of me about Australia, because this is the Australian creation story, or one of the versions of it, and it's about dream time. And I'm not a dream interpreter. I certainly know people who do interpret dreams. My understanding about dream interpretation is, yes, there is imagery, and yes, there is all of the symbolism and all of that. But my understanding about the basics of dreaming is how you feel in the dream. What are you alive with in the dream? And when I think about dreaming and dream time, I think dreams are portals into life as myth, where, the way we feel in a dream isn't a singular focus. It isn't a singular experience. It's why we have a hard time explaining dreams, because there's multiple layers of understandings going on in the dream, aside from the fact they might be really fantastical and like way out there, right? But we experience dreams differently. So tonight I'm reading to you a piece about dream time. Imagine if we could dream creation. Imagine if we could dream life into being. What would you dream? Imagine. And what happens in dream time anyway? And that's what this story is about. So welcome to dream time. Let's do our little thing about how we work, how we are together. Oh, where's my stone? Oh, there it is. Always on the corner of my desk. There it is. All right. I welcome the story of me in this space. I welcome the story of you in this space. I welcome the story of us, of Australia, and my question of being, and all that is in this creation story with us, where we connect tonight. May the story from these lips stir the glory of this night. May the stars we sit beneath remind us of our light. And this is Dream Time. The dreaming, which to me also represents the hope story. This is an Australian Aboriginal myth of creation, adapted by Rowan Walking Wolf. Once there was nothing but the spirit of all life. And for a long time, the spirit of all life dwelt in the nothing. Then, in the mind of the spirit of life, a dreaming began. In the empty darkness, there was a dreaming of fire, and the colors of fire illuminated the darkness. Within the mind of the spirit of life, there came a dreaming of wind. The fire snapped and popped with the blowing of wind in the mind of the spirit of life. Then came a dreaming of rain, and with it a great struggle. For a long time the battle of fire, wind, and rain raged in the dreaming, and the Great Spirit liked the dream. So the dreaming continued. Eventually the battle waned between fire, wind, and rain, and the town that followed brought a dreaming of earth and sky and of land and sea. For a long time this dreaming continued. The dreaming spirit began to grow tired from the long dreaming, but knew the dream was not finished and wanted the dream to continue. So life was sent into the dream to make it real, and for Creator of spirits to continue the dream. So the Spirit of all life sent the secret of dreaming into the world. And the secret of dreaming entered into the spirit of Barramundi, who is the fish. And Barramundi descended to the deep, still waters to relax, and began to dream. The dream took Barramundi to waves and wet sand, but Barramundi did not understand the dream, and wanted to dream only of the still waters. So Barramundi passed the secret of dreaming to the spirit of Kuraki, who is the turtle. Kuraki paddled out of the waves, settled out onto the wet sand, and began to dream. Kuraki dreamed the smoothness of pebbles and the warmth of the sun, but Kuraki did not understand the dream and wanted to dream only of the waves and wet sand. So Kuraki guided the secret of dreaming to the spirit of Bogi, who is the lizard. Bogi climbed onto a bed of pebbles, felt the sun's heat upon his back, and began to dream. The dreaming flew Bogi through the clear sky, but Bogi did not understand the dream and wanted to dream only of the smooth pebbles and sunshine. So Bogi ushered the secret of dreaming on to the spirit of Bunjil. Bunjil is the eagle. Bunjil harnessed the wind under her wings, soared in the cloudless sky, and began to dream. Bunjil dreamed of tall trees and the blanket of night sky. But Bunjil did not understand the dream and wanted to dream only of the wind and open sky. So Bunjil released the secret of dreaming to the spirit of Kunarang, who is the passion. Kunarang scampered through the tallest trees and lost herself in the twinkling of stars and began to dream. The dream sung Kunarang the rustle of yellow grass and white plains. But Kunarang did not understand the dream and wanted to dream only of great trees and the blackness of night. So Kunarang allowed the secret of dreaming to pass on to the spirit of Gangaru, which is the kangaroo. Gangaru left to hike above the yellow grass, contemplated the white plains, and began to dream. The dreaming tickled the ears of Kangaroo with music and song, of laughter. But Kangaroo did not understand the dream and wanted to dream only of the broad plains and the swaying grass. So Kangaroo handed the secret of dreaming to the spirit of humanity. Man and woman walked across the land. So all the works of creation given life by the dreaming of the mind of the spirit of all life. Woman and man heard the quarrels of births on that dawn. So the red sun in the horizons of dusk, and began to dream. They dreamed of the journey in the music of downwards, of dancing, with the head bobbing union, and of sinking into ochre with the sunset. They dreamed also of the laughter of children, and man and woman understood the dream. So they continued to dream, and dream again, all the dreams that had come before. They dreamed of the deep, tranquil water of the waves and damp sand, of the rocks and sunbeams, of the clear sky and breeze of the trees, and the night sky and of the plains of yellow grass. And woman and man learned through the dreaming that all creatures were their spirit cousins, and that they must protect the dreaming of all life. And they dreamt of their child, who they knew would soon arrive. And they dreamed of how they would teach these secrets of dreaming to this child who was not yet born. Then the great spirit of life knew at last that the secret of dreaming was safe. Being tired from the dreaming of creation, the spirit of all life entered the land to rest and recover. And that is why now, when the spirits of all creatures become tired, they join the spirit of life in the land. This is why the land is sacred, and man and woman must be its caretakers, just as they protect the secret of dreaming. So I think the encouragement here to you is that question, which is, what have you dreamt into creation? What would you like to dream into creation? What does it mean to dream into creation to you? Do you get a body sense when I say that? Do you get a knowing? Do you get a, what is she talking about? Explore. Because I think dreams, I think for sure one of the layers in a dream is yearning. For sure, I think another layer in a dream is knowledge. And for sure, another layer is neuroses, right? That's stuff we can't figure out. Obsession, it's got a lot of heightened pieces to it. So I invite you to consider where it takes you and what would you dream into creation? And what are you dreaming into creation as you live? Thanks for being here. This is night 41. We'll see you tomorrow. Muttley just said goodbye too. Oh, and again.